There's a reason I'm one of the most attacked and demonized people by government, Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, internet trolls, COINTELPRO. It's because I've committed my life, my name, my treasure, my wife, my children to extreme danger. And the system doesn't know what to do with somebody like Alex Jones. So I do need your prayers, ladies and gentlemen, because the attacks are intensifying, because we understand the enemy's operations. And we are having a huge effect, reaching millions and millions of new people, and that's what scares the system. We're not just preaching to the choir every week. And the crew has done a great job. You know, I saw this video about 6:30 in the morning, did research, then decided about 10 to pull all the old clips along with this new clip. And the problem is so many of these clips have profanity in them with police, firefighters, and others who just lost friends and themselves are injured, talking like sailors that, you know, just got home for leave. And we've been trying to review all these videos, and then most of them have cussing. Then we have to go find versions that we previously played years ago in our computer to be able to play the ones that don't have the cussing. But here's the new video. And again, the search term today is huge explosions. That will lead people to this Paul Joseph Watson article that details this whole history. This is just one aspect of the inside job. That there were bombs in all those buildings. They blew them sky high. Then you get into all the other areas. It's just every area you look at, it's unending. Okay, I'm sorry it's an inside job. Okay, I wish our country wasn't run by complete psychopathic murderers who will shoot up Guatemalan children and black people in this country with syphilis and watch them die. I wish they didn't take 4,000 plus foster children declassified and radiate them to death in the U.S. I wish they weren't putting sodium fluoride in the water to give you cancer and give me cancer and attack your genitals and reduce your fertility. I wish that every major GMO crop in every major study didn't cause organ failure in every mammal species. Okay, I wish the globalists weren't out in the open saying they want to set up a world government and kill us. They're not just going to bankrupt the country. They're not just going to lower your standard of living. They're going to intensify the amount of soft kills they're putting out there. And don't you get it, FBI agents and defense intelligence people? I know most of you know the truth and are supportive, but those of you that work on the dark side of this, don't you get it that you are going to be destroyed by this? Even if you like power and dark evil and being part of this, don't you understand you're going to be annihilated as well? I mean, I pray that this doesn't have to continue. The government's been hyping nukes going off in the country. What if you think they got a police state going into high gear, staging 3,000 deaths at 9/11 that PNAC said a year before in September 20th, 2000, barring a Pearl Harbor event on the mainland of the U.S., we won't be able to launch these wars against Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran? If they'll do something like that, ladies and gentlemen, they'll do anything, and they're destroying our entire civilization. Our entire society is under attack by this. So let's go ahead and start getting to the clips. Here is the new clips of bleeding and injured firefighters, and one of them looks up and he goes, there could be bombs in all these buildings. We got to get out of here. Here's the new clip that NIST didn't want you to see. And there's literally thousands of these videos that the International Center for 9/11 Studies and others sued and got. The one 2 weeks ago is bombs going off in Building 7 at 9-something in the morning. Just what Jennings said. You're like, well, why would they have planes crashing and bombs going off? That's a black op. You know, I've read about Operation Ajax in 1953 when they were taking over Iran. The CIA, this is declassified, led by Kermit Roosevelt and MI6 commanders, blew up mosques, machine gun crowds, attacked police stations, did random things like, you know, set fires at a horse stall. People are like, well, why do that? Just confusion. They'd randomly shoot people in the street. Confusion. And then they blamed it on Mohammed Mossadegh. Handed out handbills saying he had done it. And then they used Muslim extremists to overthrow him, then put the Shah in, who then suppressed the Muslim extremist who brought him to power. You know how Hitler took over a lot of the Middle East covertly and then North Africa physically. He went in the years before he launched his wars and made deals with the Arab League and others, and all the CIA had to do at the end of World War II was step right in, OSS, MI6, then CIA in 47, was step in right where Hitler had been with those networks and promise the Muslim extremists, go overthrow this secular government and we'll put you in power. And they double-cross them. The radical Muslims work for the globalist. Look at Saudi Arabia, where 15 of the supposed 19 came from. There's another Saudi prince, you know, top relative of the king, you know, raping and biting somebody to death in a hotel room, and he may not even get in trouble. That's in mainstream news today. Are we ever told Saudi Arabia is bad? No, 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 no. Any secular government that doesn't put women in burqas, any secular government that has 60% of their college graduates, including doctors, being women like Iraq, they're going to be set up, demonized, and destroyed. Does it mean Saddam was perfect? No. But he's a lot better than Saudi Arabia. He was our stinking ally until the globalists set him up and told him to invade Kuwait. April Gillespie, it's on video. They gave him $30+ billion to attack Iran 8 years before, and it was the same teletype, same message. Do you want me to attack Iran? They said, we're not going to get involved in their Arab affairs. He said, yes, sir, and launched the attack. He was put in power by black ops, by the people that run this government. Our government has been seized by foreign banks. We don't have a government anymore. We don't have a country, and no one's safe from these people. The sky is the limit with their hubris and their imperial arrogance and the chutzpah, the bravada, the machismo, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the globalists got it. They're bold. They're in charge because they are bold. They will blow up 3 buildings in front of you and tell you men in caves did it. They will order NORAD to stand down in front of you, and even when Norman Panetta comes out, the head of the Transportation Department, in the bunker with Cheney, and watches Cheney order the stand down of the Pentagon defenses when the plane's 60 miles out, 45 miles out, 10 miles out. I mean, it's all there. People say, well, something this big, it would come out. It did come out. I've interviewed the police, the firemen, who saw the countdown to blow up Building 7 years before somebody at CNN leaked, because people hadn't captured or had forgotten about it, live CNN saying, get back. They're going to blow up Building 7. It's coming down. Keep your eye on that building. Exactly what Craig Bartmer and other police officers told me to my face. Literally shaking in New York, looking over their shoulder. You think they like this stuff? But see, there's the big lie offered. Don't believe in 9/11 truth. It's communists that believe it. You know, out of the full spectrum of top Japanese officials, former German defense head, former head of German intelligence, former head of Italian intelligence, former Italian president coming out saying 9/11's an inside job. I mean, do they talk about any of them on the news? No, they'll go pick some guy like Van Jones who signed a petition for a new investigation and then decried 9/11 truth and say, see, if you are for 9/11 truth, you're a communist. The system is hoping and putting all their money on the fact that you'll just get scared of talking about 9/11 truth. They're hoping with every ounce of energy that they've got that you won't look at the evidence, or if you learn the evidence, you'll just shut up so they can stage more terror attacks. That's their agenda, and take our freedoms and take our rights and put this high-tech electronic jackboot straitjacket over our society. That's what's happening. So 9/11 being an inside job is hidden in plain view. And they hope you're delusional and weak-minded and that choose to not look at the evidence, choose to not believe it. You can't choose what reality is. If you stick your finger in a light socket, you're going to get shocked. If you jump in boiling water, you're going to get burned. If you pour gasoline on yourself and light yourself on fire, you're going to get burned. If you let foreign banks come in and issue tens of trillions of fiat currency and buy up the planet, you're going to be enslaved. It's all happening. Okay? I wish it wasn't an inside job, but the truth is the truth is the truth. Okay? It is. Now, here are the firefighters. Here's the latest clip that NIST had been suppressing, and there's now hundreds of these coming out, thousands of videos total. Each one more bombshell than the last, confirming what all the other videos and testimony and radio chatter said. There were bombs going off in those buildings from the minute the planes hit and during the entire time in the lower floors below the basement. They were blowing the main supports. They were doing it in rolling explosions. Let's go to the tape.
We was in the explosion. We was in the lobby, and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What was it like? What was it like?
Horrible.
It's like hell. You don't want to know.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Was that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was different.
Yeah, definitely secondary explosion. But we was inside waiting to go upstairs, and on the way upstairs, the whole thing blew. And we just collapsed on everybody inside the lobby.
Similar to the first tower coming down, secondary?
I don't know about the first one, but I know the second was terrible. Then there was a third one too after that one.
Third explosion after that?
Yes. Everybody was inside the building waiting to go upstairs, and they just let loose. Everything just let loose inside the building.
So what you told me is that there was a plane or whatever hit the building, then the secondary explosion.
It was like 3 explosions after that. We came in after the fire. We came when the fire was going on already. We was in the staging area inside the building, waiting to go upstairs. And then exploded. The whole lobby collapsed on the lobby inside.
And it's just mayhem after that?
Just man, everybody tried to make their way out.
Just trying to help all the brothers get out.
A lot of people trapped inside.
I was sitting in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, across from Brooklyn. We watched the first explosion. As we were watching the buildings, we saw a black, very large airplane fly right into the second building. Came out of the south, right in front of our eyes. Just, it was so surreal, like a movie set. Second and third explosions also, right? We were in the building for the third one. It collapsed. I was on this drive here for the other one.
People don't understand. There may be more. Any one of these buildings could blow up. This ain't done yet.
How does this?
This is on top of this. This could be no worse than this. Could be nothing no more worse than this. We're in the building trying to help people, and it's exploding on the inside the building. So I don't think we're getting any worse.
That is 3 firefighters, one of them senior, who went into the North Tower exactly as Willie Rodriguez, the hero, said, and many others. Let me tell you, I've been with these firefighters. I've been with these police at bars and hotels, you know, when we've met with them, and they are shaking. They're looking over their shoulder. They tell me how they've been threatened. I mean, this is like living in an action-adventure movie, but this is real. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. And you notice, see, you can't have firefighters getting there too early. You can't have firefighters noticing bombs that are in the building. So you have it pre-planned when the main group gets in to get ready to go upstairs. This is before firefighters started going up. This is, 15 minutes or so into it. It's what Willie Rodriguez says, and that's exactly what they're saying. They go in, they're staging, and the lobby just starts blowing up. And the same thing happens in the other tower. And the same thing happens at 7. But 7's not hit by a plane, and the same thing happens. Because you can't have the police and fire people that aren't part of the attack going in and seeing what's happening. And then Rodriguez, while this is going on, he'd be, opening closets and opening doors, in the smoke, and he'd open it, and there'd be dead bodies, people who'd been killed, shoved in them. They were busy killing members of the teams that had been there that day who they didn't want to know what was going on. That's always what happens. You kill a lot of the assassins. Remember the former deputy head of the FBI, Mr. O'Neill, who had been fired from the FBI and told British newspaper, The Telegraph, quote, they're going to let al-Qaeda attack to get a police state in America and attack Afghanistan. He was then hired as the new head of security, and his first day at work was September 11th, and he died in the towers. Now, here's Barry Jennings down the street after he gets out of Building 7. Hours and hours. Let me see. This is after 9 o'clock. It collapses at 5:30. 3 and 5 is 8. This is 8 hours plus before Building 7 falls. Here's Barry Jennings, the deputy head of emergency management, who didn't get the memo to be down with Giuliani at the new command center because they pulled out of the building. Here he is telling you what he saw. Here's Barry Jennings.
From this space back on Chambers in that area. So now they're walking back toward the World Trade Center. And as we keep letting you hear the personal stories, the survivor stories of exactly what happened inside the World Trade Center when that first plane went in, and of course the collapses since then, we're going to bring more of those to you now. Barry Jennings, you were on the 8th floor. You work for the City Housing Department. Explain to me the moment of impact.